The Success Mindset Formula, written and published by Sonic Tome. Every moment spent doubting, questioning, or hesitating chips away at the potential that lies waiting within you. It's not the grand, sweeping gestures or sudden breakthroughs that carve out the true path to greatness. It's the tiny, often unseen choices that stitch your destiny together. Those moments when you choose to push forward, to commit, to stay even when the path feels uncertain and the finish line distant. It's in these moments, when you're alone with your thoughts, resisting the urge to quit, that the essence of your future takes shape. The truth is, potential isn't an abstract idea that lives in some far-off tomorrow. It's a force within, fueled by the daily grind of choices made in the quiet of your routine. Every time you take a step in the direction of your dreams, no matter how small, that's a vote for the future you want. The real challenge lies not in the pursuit of an end, but in sustaining that vision when the initial rush of excitement fades and the obstacles start to mount. This is where most falter, where dreams fizzle out like a flame in the wind, unable to withstand the pressure of reality. But what if, instead of stumbling, you embrace these moments with a resolve so strong that even the harshest setbacks became mere stepping stones? What if you could turn doubt into a powerful force that drives you forward, instead of letting it drag you down? What if you knew that true growth is not just measured in the miles you've traveled, but in the grit and consistency that carried you through each step, day after day? Sustaining your vision isn't about relentless, tireless action. It's about finding a rhythm that lets you weather the storms, embrace the quiet moments of progress, and rise again with renewed energy when life pushes you back. It's about the practice of pausing to assess where you've been, recalibrating where you need to go, and reigniting your determination with every bit of wisdom gained along the way. It's about nurturing an inner resilience that doesn't waver when the winds change. A steady flame that doesn't just survive the long dark nights but thrives because of them. The secret isn't to avoid setbacks, but to build a framework of strength and purpose that transforms them into catalysts for your next leap. The pursuit isn't about racing toward a finish line that might one day appear. It's about weaving the tapestry of your journey with moments that speak of courage, reflection, and relentless renewal. Because in the quiet aftermath of each challenge, when the echoes of doubt fade into silence, what remains is a life defined not just by its achievements, but by its commitment to keep moving, keep growing, and keep striving. Chapter 1. Laying the Groundwork. Success is not simply a series of lucky breaks or circumstantial opportunities. It is built upon a sturdy foundation of thoughts and beliefs. At the heart of every achievement lies an unspoken yet powerful force, the mind. From the moment we wake up until our heads hit the pillow, our minds are in constant motion, shaping and reshaping our understanding of the world, and ultimately influencing our destiny. The key lies not just in thinking, but in cultivating the kind of thinking that acts as a springboard for real, transformative success. Every thought we have sends a signal, carving pathways in the brain that become stronger and more deeply etched with repetition. These pathways form the neural foundation upon which our beliefs are built. When we practice a certain way of thinking, whether it's rooted in doubt, hope, or determination, it becomes a mental habit. Over time, these habits govern how we react to challenges, perceive opportunities, and make decisions. They form the lens through which we see our potential and limitations. Our mind, when left unchecked, can become its own worst enemy, flooded with skepticism, fear, and the whispers of "I can't" or "I'm not good enough." These internal voices, although not tangible, create an environment that holds us back. To change our reality, we must first become aware of these thoughts and learn to steer them toward constructive directions. Imagine the mind as a garden. What you plant, nurture, and tend to will determine what grows. Neglect it, and weeds will take over, choking out any chance for growth. But with careful tending, even the smallest seed of positive belief can sprout into something powerful. The mind is not static, it evolves, and so must our approach to harnessing its potential. One way to begin this transformation is by shifting from a reactive mode to a proactive one. Rather than waiting for life to present circumstances that align with our aspirations, we become the architects of our experiences. The way we choose to interpret challenges, setbacks, or moments of doubt can either limit us or push us forward. It is in these moments that the power of intentional thought is most profound. To build a strong mental foundation, we need to start by crafting the beliefs that support our goals. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending setbacks don't exist, but rather acknowledging them without allowing them to become the defining moment of our journey. When you encounter a challenge, ask yourself, what does this experience teach me? And how can I use this to refine my approach? The process isn't about never failing. It's about developing a mind that can learn, adapt, and find solutions amidst adversity. Our beliefs are also fueled by the stories we tell ourselves. These stories are powerful, influencing not just how we view our present, but shaping our future trajectory. When we hold on to stories of limitation, we inadvertently reinforce the barriers that keep us stuck. But when we rewrite these narratives, shifting from a story of defeat to one of possibility, we begin to change the very structure of our thoughts. This shift might feel small at first, like a whisper of hope. But it's that initial spark that can lead to a wildfire of change. Understanding the science behind this process adds another layer of insight. The brain's plasticity means it can be molded and reshaped with effort and repetition. The old notion that people are either born with it or they're not has no basis in the reality of our brain's capabilities. We have the power to rewire our neural pathways, creating an internal system that supports not just our desires, but our ability to take action toward them. This is the essence of mental training, actively reinforcing thoughts that push us forward and gently steering away from those that keep us stagnant. Each decision we make plays a part in reinforcing this foundation. It's not just the grand choices that matter, but the small everyday ones. The decision to approach a problem with curiosity instead of frustration, to spend a moment visualizing success, or to take one extra step even when motivation wanes. These are the moments that solidify a mindset geared for growth. The power of choice is subtle, but it's like setting stones in a path that leads upward. The more we make choices aligned with our goals, the clearer the path becomes, and before long, we find ourselves walking that road with confidence. The groundwork of success is laid in our minds long before we see any tangible results in our lives. It's in the way we think, the beliefs we nurture, and the stories we create. The foundation is more than just a place to start. It is the ground that supports every move we make toward realizing our potential. Chapter 2. Vision and Purpose. A vision is not just a lofty idea or a distant dream. It's the driving force behind every meaningful action we take. Without a clear sense of direction, life becomes a series of reactions to the circumstances around us, leaving us at the mercy of the winds of fate. When we lack purpose, we move through life as if we're adrift in an endless sea, bobbing with the tides, never truly reaching a destination. A life built on purpose, however, is a life with intention and resilience, where each day is a step forward, no matter how small. At its core, vision is what provides us with a reason to push beyond the ordinary, to keep going when the road gets rough, and to aim higher than what we can see in front of us. It's what turns simple tasks into actions that feel meaningful and fulfilling. When we establish a vision for ourselves, it serves as a compass, steering us toward choices and actions that align with our deepest values. A clear and compelling vision acts as a filter, helping us make decisions that bring us closer to our aspirations, while staying true to who we are and what we want. Clarity is essential when it comes to defining that vision. It's not enough to have a vague sense of wanting more or doing better. A vision must be vivid and specific, detailed enough to spark excitement and guide action. Picture it as painting a scene so intricate that you can see the smallest details, whether it's the sound of the waves if you dream of living by the coast, or the feeling of pen against paper if your goal is to write a book. The more vividly you can imagine it, the more real it becomes, and the more compelling it is to work toward. Building a vision involves exploring what drives you at a fundamental level. Instead of just focusing on external achievements like promotions or new possessions, look inward to find what really stirs your soul. Ask yourself what you would pursue if you had no fear of failure, no limitations, no one telling you that you couldn't do it. These questions cut through the noise and reveal the core desires that light your path. When you understand what genuinely excites you, that is where the seeds of purpose take root. Commitment to this vision doesn't happen overnight. It requires a mindset shift where you start to see obstacles not as barriers, but as challenges that test your resolve and deepen your understanding. When you commit to something bigger than yourself, you become part of something larger, a purpose that goes beyond personal gain and taps into the collective desire for growth and contribution. This kind of commitment breeds a unique kind of energy, the kind that carries you through the grind and reminds you that every struggle is worth it. Setting long-term goals that align with your vision adds structure to your aspirations. These goals should be ambitious enough to stretch your abilities but achievable enough to fuel motivation. When you map out the steps needed to get there, it becomes easier to take action consistently. Each small accomplishment along the way reinforces your belief in your vision, proving to you that progress is possible. Celebrating these incremental wins keeps the vision alive and growing, creating momentum that propels you forward. Vision isn't just about the outcome, it's about the journey. To stay committed to long-term goals, learn to embrace the process as much as the result. Sometimes the path can feel long and uncertain, and doubt can creep in. But when your purpose is rooted in something that resonates with you on a deeper level, it becomes easier to navigate the twists and turns. It's in these moments that we learn to harness patience, understanding that growth often happens quietly, beneath the surface when we aren't looking. Surrounding yourself with the right influences can make a significant difference in your ability to stay connected to your vision. When you're in the presence of people who share similar aspirations, or who encourage you to stay true to your purpose, it's easier to remain focused. Seek out those who inspire you, who remind you of what's possible, and who keep the fire within you burning even on days when it seems to flicker. Vision and purpose fuel each other. One helps you create a life that has direction, and the other ensures that you stay committed, even when faced with challenges. As you shape your vision, it will become clear that the journey itself is as valuable as the destination. It's the lessons learned, the habits formed, and the moments of growth that build a life of fulfillment. Chapter 3. Resilience in Action. Resilience isn't simply the ability to endure difficulties. It's the skill to transform challenges into stepping stones. It's the unyielding force that propels individuals forward, even when the winds of life blow hard against them. Resilience is the difference between surviving and thriving, between facing life's trials with a sense of defeat and seeing them as an opportunity to grow stronger. Building resilience is not a one-time act. It's an ongoing practice that molds the mind to handle uncertainty with grace and courage. The foundation of resilience is built on the understanding that setbacks are an inevitable part of life. Rather than avoiding difficulties, resilient individuals see them as necessary components of their journey. Every obstacle is an invitation to develop and refine strengths that might otherwise remain dormant. The first step toward resilience is accepting that failure and discomfort are not signs of weakness but essential parts of the learning process. When we accept this, we stop trying to control outcomes and start focusing on what we can influence, our responses, our choices, and the narratives we create around these moments. One of the most powerful practices for developing resilience is shifting from a mindset of "why me" to "what can I learn from this?" This simple pivot opens the door to discovery and creativity. Rather than allowing setbacks to create a story of defeat, this approach invites exploration and curiosity. When faced with challenges, resilient people take the time to analyze what went wrong without judgment, understanding that mistakes are not failures but feedback. They ask themselves questions that lead to improvement. What did I learn about my strengths? What new strategies can I apply? How can I use this experience to help others? This process nurtures the resilience muscle, training the mind to remain agile and resourceful under pressure. Building mental toughness requires action and practice, not just theory. One effective way to develop it is through purposeful exposure to discomfort. This could mean taking on new challenges that push your limits, like trying out a new skill, putting yourself in unfamiliar social situations, or setting a goal that stretches your capabilities. Each experience reinforces the belief that you can overcome difficulties, gradually rewiring the brain to view stress not as a threat, but as a motivator. It's the willingness to step into the unknown, to take that first step when everything inside tells you to hold back, that strengthens your inner resolve. Over time, these small acts build a sense of unshakable confidence and an instinctual reaction of calm when faced with adversity. Building resilience is also about the practice of gratitude, even in the midst of challenges. Gratitude is not just a feel-good emotion. It's a grounding force that redirects focus away from the negative and toward what is still good. When life throws unexpected hardships, resilient individuals remind themselves of what they do have: their health, their ability to learn, or the support of loved ones. This simple practice reinforces a mindset of abundance, where the focus shifts from scarcity and fear to possibility and hope. Gratitude in tough times acts like a spark, reigniting motivation and shifting energy away from helplessness and into action. Another essential component is fostering a network of relationships that provide encouragement and perspective. Resilient people understand that they don't have to face adversity alone. They cultivate connections with those who uplift them, who offer constructive feedback, and who provide a reality check when it's needed. This network acts as a safety net during hard times and reinforces the understanding that resilience is both an individual and collective effort. It's in conversations with trusted friends or mentors that we hear the encouragement we need or gain insight into how others navigated similar struggles. These exchanges keep the mind from spiraling into isolation or self-doubt. Resilience isn't solely about bouncing back. It's about finding growth within the process of overcoming. It's an understanding that challenges are not just to be endured, but to be leveraged. Every setback is an opportunity to build empathy, deepen our understanding of ourselves, and develop new strategies for future success. When setbacks occur, mentally strong people do not resist the pain or pretend it doesn't exist. They face it, allow themselves to process it, and then use that experience as a platform for future growth. A key habit in building resilience is maintaining a flexible mindset. The ability to adapt is an invaluable tool for weathering life's storms. Those who practice resilience understand that life is unpredictable, and rigidity can leave one unprepared for sudden shifts. Instead, they practice adaptability, seeing change not as a threat but as a chance to learn and adjust. This approach involves assessing situations as they come and recalibrating goals and plans when necessary. Embracing this mindset ensures that when the unexpected occurs, they are better equipped to pivot without losing their direction or momentum. To move through adversity and emerge stronger, practice the discipline of taking small, deliberate actions each day that align with your vision, even when the path is difficult. Each step is a testament to your resilience and determination. When resilience becomes a part of your daily routine, facing challenges becomes second nature. The mind becomes a fortress capable of withstanding the fiercest of storms, not because it never feels the storm, but because it knows it can weather it and emerge stronger. Chapter 4: Steering Toward Growth. Growth isn't something that happens on its own. It's an active pursuit that demands deliberate actions and an openness to evolving. The journey of personal growth begins when you choose to step into a mindset where progress is valued over perfection, where every moment, no matter how small, holds the potential for learning. It's about training yourself to see challenges as invitations to expand your capacity, and obstacles not as deterrents, but as valuable lessons waiting to be discovered. One of the cornerstones of continuous improvement is cultivating deep self-awareness. This means understanding not just what you do, but why you do it and how you react in various situations. Self-awareness opens up a window to your inner world, revealing the beliefs and patterns that drive your behavior. It takes courage to face the parts of ourselves that might be uncomfortable to acknowledge, but it is in this honest self-reflection that we uncover opportunities for meaningful change. Start by creating space in your life for quiet moments where you can think deeply about your actions, decisions, and emotions. Ask yourself questions that cut through the noise and bring clarity. Why did I react that way? What do I hope to achieve in this situation? What beliefs are influencing my actions? When you learn to be fully present with your thoughts and feelings, you become equipped to identify the habits that no longer serve you and consciously choose new paths. Growth is fueled by the understanding that failures are not the end of the road. They are the seeds of resilience and innovation. It is easy to dismiss mistakes as setbacks, but those who make the greatest strides in life are those who don't just learn to cope with failure, but learn to harness it. Each misstep, each moment when things don't go as planned, is a chapter in your personal manual for improvement. Instead of allowing a setback to define you, view it as a crucial part of the journey. Reflect on what went wrong, not with harsh self-criticism, but with the curiosity of a scientist dissecting an experiment. Ask yourself, what can I take away from this experience? What adjustments can I make going forward? Embrace the discomfort that comes with failure, for it is this discomfort that sharpens your perspective and prepares you for the next challenge. Another way to continually move toward growth is by setting a foundation of habits that nurture your potential. The practice of incremental improvements can be powerful, whether it's dedicating a few minutes each day to reading, taking time to meditate, or finding ways to engage in a skill you want to enhance. Consistent efforts compound over time. These small daily actions may seem insignificant at first, but they add up to remarkable transformations. When you approach your goals with patience and a willingness to take things one step at a time, you remove the pressure of trying to achieve perfection and instead focus on progress. It's about maintaining the rhythm of continuous effort, learning to appreciate the value of the process itself rather than solely focusing on the outcome. Adapting to change is another vital skill that steers you toward growth. Life is never static, and those who grow are the ones who accept the reality of constant change and adapt their thinking and strategies accordingly. This could mean rethinking your approach when a goal is no longer realistic, or embracing new technologies and methods that challenge your old ways of thinking. Adaptation requires a flexible mindset, the kind that sees shifting circumstances not as disruptions, but as new opportunities. To be adaptable, learn to detach from the need for everything to stay predictable and comfortable. Get used to the idea that there's value in experimenting and taking calculated risks. When you learn to lean into change, you unlock the creativity needed to thrive, to see solutions that were not visible from your previous point of view. A big part of steering toward growth is learning to seek out feedback and use it to your advantage. This practice is often met with resistance because constructive criticism can be difficult to hear. But those who reach their full potential are the ones who understand that feedback is a tool for refinement, not an attack. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, who are willing to give you honest feedback and who push you to go further. The key is to approach this input with an open mind, separating your ego from the message so you can understand it objectively. Instead of viewing feedback as a critique of who you are, see it as a perspective on what you're doing and how you can do it better. When you learn to hear, process, and apply feedback, you create a feedback loop that propels you toward continuous improvement. Finally, allow room for curiosity to guide you through your growth journey. Cultivate a mindset that delights in learning new things, that doesn't shy away from uncertainty, but leans into it with a sense of wonder. Approach every day as a chance to uncover something you hadn't noticed before, whether it's a new idea, a unique approach, or an insight about yourself. When curiosity drives you, the process of growth becomes exciting rather than daunting. Allow yourself to ask questions, engage with people who see the world differently, and dive into activities that stretch your thinking. Growth happens when you're not just going through the motions, but when you're actively seeking out new experiences, new ways of thinking, and new opportunities to learn. It's this spirit of exploration that sets the stage for true breakthroughs, where the ordinary becomes extraordinary and potential becomes achievement. Chapter 5. Harnessing Inner Strength. The true measure of a person isn't found in moments of comfort and ease, but in the quiet, untapped reservoir of power that lies within, waiting to be called upon when needed most. To harness your inner strength is to recognize that this energy exists in you, not as a static force, but as a dynamic and evolving source that can be cultivated and directed toward meaningful achievement. It starts with the recognition that power doesn't come from external validation or circumstances, but from the choices you make in response to life's challenges. It is an unwavering commitment to becoming your own greatest supporter, to hold fast to your principles even when the world seems intent on testing them. To unlock this strength, you first need to become attuned to what truly drives you. It's easy to get lost in the noise of other people's expectations or the influence of fleeting desires. Your true potential lies in identifying and focusing on what deeply resonates with you, what stirs something in your soul and ignites your passions. Take time to explore the interests that pull you in unexpected directions, the activities that make you lose track of time, and the pursuits that leave you feeling fulfilled. This self-knowledge allows you to build a foundation on which inner strength can be fortified. Without knowing what fuels your motivation, it's difficult to summon the resilience needed during moments of doubt or hardship. Emotional energy is a powerful force, yet many overlook the effect it has on their ability to achieve. Aligning your mental and emotional energy requires recognizing that emotions are not something to suppress or ignore, but an integral part of your personal power. To direct this energy effectively, practice mindfulness and intentional focus. When your mind is scattered, it drains your strength and leaves you susceptible to frustration. Channeling your energy means being present and fully engaged with what you are doing, whether it's working on a goal, nurturing relationships, or taking time for yourself. This deep engagement is what allows your mental and emotional energies to work in harmony, making your actions more impactful. Another aspect of harnessing inner strength involves learning to manage the inner critic, the voice that insists you're not good enough, that your dreams are unrealistic, or that setbacks are evidence of failure. Instead of succumbing to this negative self-talk, learn to observe it, acknowledge it, and then redirect your attention to what you know to be true about your capabilities. Inner strength comes from understanding that setbacks do not define you. They are simply points along the journey that can teach you something vital. With practice, you can choose to replace self-doubt with affirmations of resilience, reminding yourself of past successes and the strength it took to achieve them. Mental discipline plays an essential role in harnessing inner strength. This means training your mind to stay focused and maintain clarity, even in the face of distractions, setbacks, or even overwhelming situations. It's not about eliminating all forms of doubt or discomfort. It's about learning to keep moving forward despite them. Build mental resilience through practices that challenge your focus and expand your patience. This could be as simple as dedicating time each day to meditation, where you practice sitting with your thoughts, observing them without judgment, and bringing your attention back to your breath. Over time, this discipline develops a sense of internal steadiness that you can call upon when things get tough. True inner strength is also reflected in the way you respond to challenges. Those who possess this power don't view obstacles as insurmountable roadblocks, but as opportunities for transformation. They understand that growth often involves discomfort, and that stepping out of your comfort zone is essential for progress. Each time you push through adversity, whether it's tackling a complex project, speaking up in a difficult conversation, or taking a bold step toward a long-term dream, you reinforce your ability to act with conviction. This gradual buildup of courage, supported by a mindset that refuses to yield to defeat, strengthens your resolve. Self-compassion is another vital tool in this process. Many people believe that strength comes from unyielding toughness, but the true measure of inner strength is the ability to be gentle with yourself, to show up with kindness when you feel vulnerable or when you've made mistakes. Inner strength is not about shutting down your emotions. It's about recognizing them, feeling them, and choosing to move forward anyway. When you allow yourself the space to recover, learn, and grow from mistakes, you deepen your resilience. It is in these moments of gentle self-care that your strength is restored and expanded. Building and harnessing inner strength is also closely linked to setting intentions that align with your deepest values. Your power amplifies when your efforts are in line with what truly matters to you. This alignment acts like a magnetic force, drawing focus and energy toward your goals. When your actions are guided by a clear sense of purpose, even the most daunting tasks seem less intimidating. The world around you may fluctuate, but with a solid foundation of purpose, your path stays clear. Finally, understand that inner strength is never a finished product. It is something you continuously cultivate. It is reinforced with each day you choose to be courageous, each time you embrace vulnerability, and every time you pursue your path with passion and determination. Recognizing your inner strength isn't about reaching a point where you are never afraid or uncertain, but instead, about learning to harness that power even when you are. Chapter 6: Choices that Shape Destiny. Every decision you make, from the smallest to the most life-altering, is a thread woven into the tapestry of your destiny. The path you walk is not carved out by fate alone. It is constructed with each choice you make. The power of decision lies not just in choosing between options, but in recognizing the impact of these choices on your overall journey. What separates those who lead fulfilled lives from those who feel trapped in their circumstances is their ability to make intentional, value-driven decisions that steer them toward lasting success. To shape your destiny, you first need to understand that decisions are not always about choosing between right and wrong, but between options that reflect your values, vision, and aspirations. This starts with a clear sense of self-awareness, where you understand what truly matters to you and what you want to achieve. When decisions are made from this space of authenticity, they are more likely to align with your long-term goals and personal growth. It's not enough to react impulsively or follow the crowd. Lasting achievements come from choices that reflect your true self, even when those choices are difficult or go against popular opinion. The quality of your decisions depends on your ability to pause and reflect before acting. The temptation to rush or follow the quickest path is ever present, but true success is built on decisions that come from a place of careful thought and alignment with your deeper purpose. To make better decisions, take the time to ask yourself questions like, will this choice bring me closer to my goals? Or, does this action align with who I want to be? These moments of pause allow you to weigh the pros and cons, project the long-term consequences, and consider how each choice will affect not just the immediate situation, but your overall trajectory. It's important to recognize that prioritizing actions means understanding that not everything holds the same weight. There are choices that will impact your life profoundly, and there are those that will pass without consequence. Knowing which actions deserve your full focus and which can be delegated or minimized helps you direct your energy toward what truly matters. This is where discipline plays a significant role. It's easy to be swept up in the demands of daily life, where distractions and urgent tasks overshadow your long-term goals. Cultivating the ability to distinguish between urgent and important tasks is a skill that ensures you stay true to your course. When you prioritize what aligns with your deepest values, you invest in your growth and set the stage for real achievement. Being value-driven in your decision-making is where your inner compass comes into play. This involves holding steadfast to the principles that guide you, even when circumstances tempt you to deviate. For example, if your core values include integrity, choosing a path that compromises these principles for short-term gain will not only undermine your self-worth, but lead to regrets that erode your confidence. Success built on a foundation of compromise may appear outwardly successful, but it's the type of success that crumbles when faced with challenges that test your character. Instead, choose decisions that make you proud of who you are, not just what you've achieved. Understanding that each choice has a ripple effect, can also change the way you approach decision-making. It's easy to see decisions in isolation, but they are rarely standalone events. Choices often influence other aspects of your life, creating a domino effect that extends beyond the immediate moment. For instance, choosing to invest time in building genuine relationships may not yield instant results, but it creates a support network that becomes invaluable during difficult times. On the other hand, choices made solely for personal gain without consideration for others can lead to isolation and a lack of fulfillment. The long-term vision you hold for yourself should include not just personal goals, but also the way you want to show up in the lives of others. There is a courage required to make decisions that might be misunderstood or questioned by others. The more significant a decision, the more likely it is to stir doubt, criticism, or resistance from people around you. But true decision-making power lies in the confidence to trust your own judgment, even when it's not what others would choose for you. This isn't about dismissing advice or refusing guidance, but about knowing when to take in information and when to trust that your path is yours to navigate. As you begin to make more conscious, value-driven decisions, you start to see that life is not about a single grand choice, but a series of choices that align with your vision, one step at a time. Each choice you make adds up, shaping your journey into one that is uniquely yours. To move toward success, nurture the habit of questioning, prioritizing, and choosing based on what truly matters. Your destiny isn't written by chance, but by the countless decisions you make every day. Choose intentionally, choose thoughtfully, and watch how the path you carve leads you to a life that is not only successful, but deeply fulfilling. Chapter 7. Cultivating Lasting Confidence. True confidence is not the loud, brash kind that seeks the spotlight, nor is it the quiet, timid type that hides in the shadows. It is a deep, unwavering trust in oneself that remains steady even in the face of challenges and uncertainties. The kind of confidence that stands the test of time is cultivated through consistent actions and reflections, not by momentary achievements or the applause of others. This type of confidence radiates from within and influences every decision, interaction, and pursuit. Self-assurance is different from arrogance in that it doesn't need to prove itself to others. Arrogance is loud and often insecure beneath the surface. It craves validation and thrives on comparison. True confidence, on the other hand, is silent but powerful. It does not need to dominate or diminish others to feel strong. It is simply content and resilient. This quality comes from understanding and embracing your strengths and weaknesses, knowing that your worth does not hinge on perfection or validation from others. Cultivating genuine confidence begins with self-awareness. This is more than just recognizing your skills and accomplishments. It's about knowing who you are, understanding your values, and being honest with yourself about your limitations. When you accept both your strengths and areas for growth, you stop feeling the need to mask your insecurities. Instead of chasing the approval of others or fearing criticism, you start to see constructive feedback as an opportunity for growth rather than a threat. When you acknowledge your flaws and learn from them, you build resilience and an inner trust that no amount of external praise can match. A vital practice in nurturing real confidence is setting and honoring personal boundaries. Knowing what you stand for and where you draw the line allows you to engage with the world from a place of inner strength. When you respect your own boundaries, others are more likely to respect them as well, creating a healthy space where your confidence can flourish. This also means learning the art of saying no. It's not just about protecting your time or energy. It's a powerful declaration that you value yourself enough to prioritize what truly matters to you. This isn't an act of exclusion, but an act of self-respect that reinforces your belief in your own worth. Growth-oriented habits are another cornerstone of sustained confidence. Rather than focusing solely on the outcomes, shift your focus to the process, the daily actions, the consistent effort, and the small wins. Confidence grows when you're proud of the effort you put in, even when the results don't come immediately. Embrace challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities to learn and evolve. This perspective shifts your relationship with failure. Instead of seeing it as a reflection of your inadequacy, view it as an essential part of progress. Each setback is a stepping stone that builds your resilience and teaches you more about what you are capable of. When you begin to see obstacles as lessons rather than as failures, you gain a deeper sense of trust in your ability to overcome them. Visualizing success and maintaining a positive mindset can also play a significant role in strengthening confidence. The mind is powerful, and what you choose to focus on can shape your reality. Spend time each day visualizing your goals and imagining the success you want to achieve. This practice trains your mind to align with your aspirations, creating an inner sense of certainty that propels you forward. Similarly, practicing gratitude grounds you in the present and reminds you of your achievements, no matter how small. When you acknowledge your progress, you build a foundation that supports you when you face challenges. Confidence also thrives in a mindset of humility. Recognize that you don't have to have all the answers or be the best at everything. Humility allows you to learn from those around you, to be open to new ideas, and to continue growing. It reminds you that your worth isn't diminished by someone else's success, nor is it threatened by the acknowledgement of others' talents. This balanced perspective helps you avoid comparisons and keeps you focused on your personal growth rather than on the race to outshine others. Practicing self-care is an essential aspect of nurturing confidence. When you take care of your physical, emotional, and mental health, you send a powerful message to yourself that you are worthy of care and attention. Sleep well, eat nourishing foods, and engage in activities that bring you joy. Confidence is not only built through achievements, but also through the small daily choices that prioritize your well-being. Confidence is sustained by a network of supportive relationships. Surround yourself with those who uplift you and encourage you to be your best self. The energy of others can greatly influence your mindset, so choose connections that inspire you rather than drain you. Seek out mentors who can guide you and peers who share your values. Authentic connections remind you of your strengths and help you see your potential even when you forget it yourself. To maintain balanced confidence, avoid overindulgence in validation-seeking behaviors. This means resisting the urge to measure your worth through likes, comments, or external recognition. While praise can be encouraging, it should never be the source of your self-worth. A confident person isn't reliant on the applause of others, but finds their value internally. They appreciate recognition without becoming dependent on it. Their focus remains on fulfilling their own potential and doing work that aligns with their values, not on seeking constant external approval. True confidence is a quiet yet powerful force. It is a gift you give yourself when you choose to act from a place of integrity, learn from experiences, value your progress, and stay rooted in your true self. It's the inner voice that reminds you, I am enough, even when things don't go as planned. It's what keeps you going even when the journey feels long and uncertain. Chapter 8. Power of Strategic Connections. The people you choose to surround yourself with can be one of the most powerful forces shaping your life. While it's easy to think of connections as mere social obligations, their real value lies in the opportunities, perspectives, and support they bring to your journey. Your network is more than just a collection of contacts. It's an ecosystem where ideas are exchanged, growth is nurtured, and potential is realized. Strategic connections go beyond common interests and shared experiences. They are relationships that challenge you, inspire you, and elevate your ambitions. When you engage with individuals who share your values and vision, you create an environment where collaboration can thrive. The influence of these connections comes not only from their achievements, but from their mindset and energy. Like-minded individuals push you to reach higher, think bigger, and take risks that you might not have considered alone. They create a ripple effect where one person's success fuels the drive of others, encouraging everyone involved to strive for greater outcomes. These connections are not just about mutual benefits. They're about mutual investment in each other's growth. Choosing relationships based on shared values, rather than just shared activities or temporary goals, lays the foundation for lasting impact. It's easy to be drawn to people who simply echo your opinions or provide comfort in times of struggle. But strategic connections are different. They're the ones who ask the difficult questions, challenge your assumptions, and push you out of your comfort zone. They may not always be the most agreeable voices, but they are the most transformative ones. When you engage with people who inspire you to think critically and act boldly, you create a space for growth that extends beyond the initial conversation. While mentorship and guidance are commonly associated with professional settings, the same principle applies in personal spheres. The connections you make, whether they are mentors, colleagues, friends, or advisors, shape your perspective of what's possible. A mentor's influence, for instance, can be profound, offering not just advice but insights that have been honed through their own experiences. However, mentorship is not limited to people older or more established than you. It can be found in peers who bring fresh ideas and unique solutions, or even in those who are just beginning their own journeys and offer an unfiltered view of what's possible. But connections are not just about learning from others. They're about creating opportunities for collaboration. The greatest achievements often come from collective efforts. A strategic network can lead to partnerships that amplify your strengths and fill in the gaps where you need support. These partnerships, whether in business or personal projects, create a dynamic exchange where ideas are refined, expanded, and brought to fruition with a collective energy that one person alone might not be able to muster. The most successful initiatives often start with one conversation, one connection, and one shared commitment to something greater. It's crucial to engage in relationships where there's a mutual exchange of value. Building a network isn't about what you can take, but about what you can contribute. Providing value in the form of your expertise, insights, or simple encouragement fosters trust and respect. When you show genuine interest in supporting others, whether by sharing resources, celebrating their achievements, or offering a listening ear, you deepen the connection in a way that encourages reciprocity. The more you contribute, the more you become known as someone worth connecting with, and that reputation attracts other like-minded individuals who share a commitment to personal and collective growth. Strategic connections should also include diversity of thought and experience. While it's powerful to find people who align with your current mindset, it's equally important to have relationships that challenge your worldview. People from different backgrounds, professions, and experiences can provide insights that you may not have encountered before. Their perspectives can shift your thinking in surprising ways and reveal opportunities that you didn't know existed. The true power of connections lies in their ability to broaden your horizons and make you more adaptable to change. It's not enough to simply collect contacts. Building strategic connections requires ongoing effort. Consistently reaching out, participating in meaningful discussions, and showing appreciation for others' contributions keeps the relationship alive. It's important to remain engaged, share updates, and celebrate milestones, not only in your life but in theirs as well. This shows that your connection is rooted in more than just a shared goal. It's a genuine relationship built on mutual respect and support. Strategic networking also involves knowing when to seek out different types of relationships. There are times when you need to be mentored, other times when you need a sounding board, and still other times when you need a partner or collaborator. Understanding your needs at different stages of your life and career will help you engage with people in ways that are mutually beneficial and aligned with your current goals. But perhaps the most powerful aspect of strategic connections is the sense of community and belonging they create. Success becomes less about personal ambition and more about collective progress. This shift changes the way challenges are faced, not as obstacles you must navigate alone, but as shared experiences that can be approached with shared strength. It fosters a network where resilience is built through collective support, and everyone's wins become a celebration for all. The real power of strategic connections is how they transform not just your path to achievement, but the way you experience the journey itself. Chapter 9. The ripple effect of consistency. In the pursuit of any meaningful goal, it's easy to be drawn to grand gestures and immediate results. We often think that achieving something significant requires a dramatic change or a single transformative moment. But the truth is, progress is rarely made in leaps and bounds. Instead, it's the steady, consistent actions, taken day after day, that quietly lay the foundation for lasting achievement. The real power lies in the habit of small, intentional acts, repeated over time, that create a ripple effect of progress. Consistency isn't just about doing something repeatedly. It's about building a rhythm, an unspoken commitment that anchors your actions. It's the small steps that are often unnoticed in the moment that shape the course of your journey. Think of it as watering a plant. Each drop of water may seem insignificant, but when done regularly, it nurtures growth that eventually transforms a seedling into a towering tree. Similarly, your daily efforts, no matter how small, accumulate and compound in ways that create momentum, pushing you further than you initially imagined possible. One of the greatest benefits of consistency is its power to reduce the need for willpower. When you integrate actions into your life as routines, they no longer require a mental battle to accomplish. It becomes a part of your identity, an unspoken contract you have with yourself. This shift is what allows you to move beyond the motivation of the moment and maintain your efforts even when enthusiasm fades or challenges arise. The key is not in waiting for the perfect moment or for a surge of inspiration, but in committing to your path, day after day, with discipline as your guide. Consistency is also about resilience. It's what keeps you going when setbacks occur or when progress seems slow. Instead of being deterred by moments when your journey doesn't go as planned, consistency helps you stay the course, trusting that each action is building toward the larger goal. It's a refusal to be discouraged by the occasional misstep, knowing that one off day doesn't erase the countless days that came before it. Over time, this unwavering dedication becomes a testament to your strength and commitment, helping you endure challenges and maintain focus when the road ahead gets tough. Small actions, when compounded over time, create an exponential effect. Each action is like a stone dropped in water, creating ripples that extend farther than you can see. As these actions compound, they influence other aspects of your life. 1 hour of practice, repeated daily, becomes the 10,000 hours that masters speak of. A single decision to set aside time for learning each day becomes the accumulated knowledge and skills that set you apart. The power of small, consistent actions is that they don't just contribute to your growth in isolation. They build a network of habits that reinforce each other, creating an interconnected web of progress. Imagine starting a project or learning a new skill. The first steps may feel insignificant, but over time, the consistency builds momentum, leading to breakthroughs and results that seem to appear out of nowhere. The magic is in how the small things amplify. The discipline of showing up and doing the work, even when you don't feel like it, establishes trust with yourself. This trust fuels self-confidence and removes doubt from the equation, which in turn allows you to reach further and accomplish more than you thought possible. The ripple effect extends to those around you as well. When you commit to consistent actions, whether at work, in your personal goals, or in your relationships, it influences the people in your sphere. Others begin to notice your dedication, and it becomes a source of inspiration or a standard for what's possible. Your commitment can encourage others to take their own steps, creating a network of shared motivation and support. This interconnected energy helps build a culture where consistency becomes contagious, amplifying progress on a larger scale. While consistency can be simple in theory, in practice it requires mindfulness and the ability to stay connected to your why. It's easy to lose sight of the reason you started when the grind feels long and the payoff is unseen. To stay consistent, you must reconnect regularly with your vision and the values that drive you. This reminder isn't about grand declarations, but simple moments of reflection that align your current actions with your bigger aspirations. When you find your motivation dwindling, lean into that connection. Remember that each small step you take, even on days when it feels like you're moving at a glacial pace, is still a step forward. There's a profound elegance in understanding that success doesn't just happen. It's built. It's the quiet determination, the practice of returning to your path no matter how many distractions or obstacles arise, that eventually pays off. Each step, each choice to continue, each moment you choose to stay consistent over convenience, becomes part of the ripple that builds an unstoppable current toward your goals. Through this dedication, you'll see that what once felt impossible, daunting, or out of reach becomes a reality, and you'll realize that the secret was never in making huge leaps, but in finding power in the smallest of movements, repeated day after day. Chapter 10. A Future Beyond Limits. The idea of limits can be deceptive. Often, the greatest obstacles we face are not external challenges, but the invisible barriers we create for ourselves. We grow accustomed to the confines of what we believe is possible, shaped by experiences, past failures, and the opinions of others. These limitations are like walls that we build from the inside out, blocking potential without even realizing it. But the truth is, beyond those walls lies a horizon of boundless opportunity. It's not just about dreaming big. It's about stripping away the misconceptions and stepping into a reality where those dreams are not just possible, but inevitable. To break free, we first need to identify the voices that hold us back. They're often subtle whispers sounding like logic or practicality, telling us why something is too risky or too out of reach. But the most dangerous part is when these whispers become a script we live by, convincing us that we're simply not capable of more. Real progress starts when we challenge that narrative and rewrite the story. It means looking in the mirror and acknowledging that what we've accepted as truth is often only the accumulation of all the times we told ourselves, no. One of the most powerful shifts is to stop measuring potential by past experiences. It's easy to look at history, your own or that of those around you, and assume that what happened once will happen again. But history is not a prophecy. It's a record of choices, circumstances, and moments that were influenced by the beliefs at that time. You are not bound by the same beliefs that held you or others back before. Instead, you are free to approach life with the mindset that each day is a new opportunity to redefine what you're capable of. The journey to breaking barriers involves a bold kind of courage, one that goes beyond facing fear to facing the comfort of the familiar. It's the courage to try, to risk failing, and to understand that even setbacks don't mean defeat. They are merely part of the process. They're the raw materials from which resilience is crafted. Think of failure as a teacher who shows up not with the intent to discourage, but with lessons that sharpen your focus and refine your strategy. It's when you stop seeing failure as an enemy that you start seeing it as a companion on the road to growth. Chasing aspirations that once seemed impossible requires a willingness to embrace discomfort. Change is never easy, and stepping outside the boundaries of what you know is bound to feel uncertain. But it is in those moments of discomfort that true transformation occurs. The mind resists change because it craves stability, but growth is only possible when that stability is challenged. To move forward, you have to silence the inner resistance and remind yourself that discomfort is not a sign of failure. It's a signal that you're expanding. To break free, you also need to cultivate a sense of curiosity that propels you forward. When you're curious, you're no longer just working to meet expectations or achieve outcomes. You're engaged in the process itself, eager to see where each new decision might lead. This kind of exploration reveals potential that you never knew existed. It's the kind of mindset that turns setbacks into puzzles to solve and obstacles into invitations to learn. The most successful individuals aren't those who never fail. They are those who embrace failure as part of the grand experiment of progress. There is also an art to rejecting the idea of being realistic as a limiting factor. While practical thinking can serve its purpose, there's a danger in allowing it to dictate what you pursue. To achieve the extraordinary, you need to step away from the constraint of realistic and ask yourself what you would do if there were no limits. What would you create? Where would you go? Or what would you pursue if you had no fear of failure? These questions are not just thought exercises. They are the seeds of new possibilities. By focusing on what could be, rather than what has been, you open doors that were previously sealed shut. The power to break through barriers also lies in redefining what success looks like. Society often measures success by conventional standards: wealth, status, or achievement. But true fulfillment comes from aligning your life with what matters most to you. Success should not be measured by comparisons or by someone else's definition, but by the growth you experience and the joy that comes from pursuing what resonates with your deepest values. When you pursue something that aligns with your passion and purpose, the journey itself becomes a source of satisfaction, even when the destination is still out of reach. Surround yourself with those who see beyond limitations. There's an incredible force in being in the company of people who are constantly stretching their own boundaries. They inspire you to dream bigger and show you that there are more possibilities than you initially believed. These relationships are less about competition and more about collective growth. You share experiences, challenge each other's thinking, and celebrate progress together. The energy of a community that pushes against limitations is like a current, carrying everyone further than they could go alone. In a world full of predefined paths and voices that tell you to stay small, the greatest act of courage is choosing to defy those limitations. It's choosing to create a future that transcends what was expected of you, and embracing the mindset that there is no ceiling to your potential. This journey isn't just about breaking barriers. It's about reimagining what life can look like when you free yourself from the constraints of can't, impossible, and too risky. It's about reaching for that future where your aspirations aren't confined to the edges of what others have deemed realistic. Chapter 11. Sustaining your vision. There's a common misconception that maintaining focus and motivation is a matter of willpower alone. In reality, the journey of sustaining your vision requires more than just grit. It calls for a strategic and adaptive approach. It's the difference between simply starting with passion and keeping that fire alive through the challenges and monotonous stretches that often follow. When motivation wanes, it can feel like you're trudging through quicksand, each step more laborious than the last. But when you have a solid framework for perseverance, the path becomes clearer and progress more certain. The first key to sustaining your vision is defining what success means to you, not as a singular, distant endpoint, but as a dynamic series of milestones that mark your ongoing journey. This vision should be deeply personal, rooted in your unique passions and purpose. When your vision is intrinsically tied to who you are, the temptation to abandon it during tough times diminishes. It becomes a part of your identity, something you carry with you regardless of circumstances. This isn't just about having a clear goal. It's about embedding your aspirations into your daily mindset so that they inform your decisions and actions. It's recognizing that the goal isn't just an achievement, but an expression of who you strive to be. As you pursue your vision, it's essential to anticipate plateaus, those phases where progress slows, and the initial rush of enthusiasm gives way to routine. Plateaus can be disheartening because they mask the progress you're actually making. In these moments, it's easy to mistake stagnation for failure, but it's not. The brain craves novelty, so when you hit a plateau, your mind starts to question the value of your efforts. Recognizing plateaus as a natural part of growth can shift your perspective. Rather than seeing them as a sign to stop, see them as a cue to evolve your strategy, learn a new skill, or seek a different approach. This is where adaptability becomes vital. Sustained progress isn't linear, it's cyclical, with moments of growth interwoven with periods of reassessment and recalibration. To maintain momentum during these times, cultivate a habit of reflection and gratitude. Instead of solely focusing on the next big breakthrough, take time to look back on how far you've come. This practice helps you see that progress isn't always measured by external accomplishments, but by internal shifts and the resilience you've built along the way. Gratitude acts as an anchor, reminding you of the positive changes that have already happened and the lessons learned from challenges. This shift in mindset prevents burnout and fosters an appreciation for the journey itself. Another way to keep your vision alive is by embedding accountability into your process. This can take the form of finding an accountability partner, joining a group with similar goals, or regularly checking in with a mentor or coach. Accountability goes beyond external pressure. It's a tool for self-assessment and honest reflection. Having someone who knows your goals and checks in on your progress can create a gentle push when your motivation dips. It also offers a fresh perspective when you're too close to the situation to see the bigger picture. The right kind of support system can remind you that while the path may be tough, you're not alone. It's also important to remain flexible and open to recalibrating your approach. Sometimes the original vision needs to evolve as you learn and grow. Sticking to a plan that no longer serves you out of stubbornness can be more damaging than adaptive change. This doesn't mean abandoning your dreams but refining them. Embrace the idea that your goals are not set in stone. They are living, breathing elements that can adapt to the circumstances you face and the person you become. To maintain long-term motivation, incorporate rituals and practices that reinforce your vision on a daily basis. These can be simple acts like journaling your achievements, meditating on your goals, or visualizing the impact of your work. These practices help keep your vision vivid and tangible, reinforcing the emotional connection you have to your aspirations. The power of repetition should not be underestimated. The mind is shaped by consistent reminders and positive reinforcement. When you see your goals as part of your daily routine, they don't feel like distant ambitions, but present realities. Learning to navigate through difficult periods is another crucial aspect. Every pursuit comes with its share of hardship. Days when energy dips, when obstacles feel insurmountable, and when self-doubt creeps in. During these times, it's important to practice self-compassion. Instead of chastising yourself for a moment of stagnation, acknowledge that setbacks are human. Every individual who has achieved greatness has faced moments where moving forward felt impossible. It's how you respond in those moments that determines whether your vision endures. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would extend to a friend facing the same challenges. Lastly, fuel your journey with inspiration from outside your immediate circle. Draw motivation from art, nature, music, or stories of individuals who have persevered through adversity. Exposure to different perspectives and experiences can reignite the spark within you and offer innovative ideas for navigating your own path. Inspiration doesn't always come from within. Sometimes it's the collective energy of human creativity that lifts you up and pushes you forward. Maintaining focus over the long haul is not about avoiding challenges. It's about learning to dance with them. The journey is as much about the small, deliberate actions you take every day as it is about grand achievements. These actions build the resilience needed to push through the plateaus and keep moving forward, even when the light at the end of the tunnel seems distant. It's not just about holding on to your vision, but about continuously nurturing it until it becomes so deeply woven into your being that it can't help but thrive, no matter the obstacles. Chapter 12. Reflection and Renewal. When you're caught up in the rush of daily activities and the pursuit of your goals, it's easy to become a machine, ticking off tasks without truly considering their impact. But real growth doesn't come from relentless action alone. It's birthed from moments of quiet, intentional reflection. These pauses aren't just breaks, they're necessary respites that allow you to assess, learn, and realign your course. Without them, you risk moving in circles, exerting energy without making meaningful progress. Reflection offers you the opportunity to step back, take stock, and renew your commitment to your path, ensuring that every effort you make is in alignment with the person you are becoming. The first step in embracing reflection is carving out intentional space for it. This might mean setting aside a few minutes each day, an hour each week, or even a day each month solely for the purpose of self-evaluation. This is not about turning inward to dwell on doubts or flaws, but about creating an honest dialogue with yourself. Reflecting isn't just about pinpointing failures. It's about acknowledging wins, however small, and understanding what practices worked and which ones need revisiting. It's an ongoing conversation where you're both the coach and the athlete, assessing your performance with a clear, compassionate eye. One of the most powerful aspects of reflection is its capacity to highlight both growth and stagnation. When you pause to look back on your journey, you're not just observing a series of completed tasks. You're witnessing your evolution. You can see the lessons woven into each experience, the way each choice has shaped who you are today. And with this knowledge, you gain insight into which paths will serve you moving forward. The truth is, every step, even those that seem insignificant or misaligned at the time, contributes to a richer, deeper understanding of yourself and your aspirations. When you engage in this type of deep reflection, don't just think of what didn't work. Focus on the patterns that arise. Are there recurring challenges that point to an area of weakness you can strengthen? Or perhaps there are habits that consistently produce positive outcomes that you could build upon. This type of reflection moves you beyond superficial self-assessments. It urges you to analyze your actions, choices, and mindset with a critical eye while fostering an attitude of growth rather than judgment. Once reflection is complete, the process of renewal begins. Renewal is about choosing to show up again with a refreshed perspective and refined approach. This is where gratitude becomes a powerful tool. Gratitude isn't just a fleeting moment of thankfulness. It's a state of mind that shifts your perspective from focusing on what's lacking to appreciating what you already have. When you consistently practice gratitude, it infuses your journey with resilience and positivity. It enables you to recognize that even in moments of struggle, there are elements to be grateful for, lessons learned, strengths revealed, and moments of unexpected joy. The act of renewal isn't only about adjusting your course, but also about infusing your approach with enthusiasm and intention. One way to do this is by setting clear, manageable goals that keep you motivated. These goals should reflect both the long-term vision you're striving for and the immediate steps that keep you moving forward. Rather than treating them as rigid checkpoints, see them as flexible markers that can evolve as you grow and learn. Allow space in your plan for change and improvement, for life rarely unfolds exactly as we expect. Another way to cultivate renewal is through creative outlets that stimulate your thinking and spark fresh ideas. This could mean trying new activities, reading books that shift your perspective, or even traveling to a place that inspires you. New experiences shake up your routine, challenge your thinking, and infuse your spirit with a sense of possibility. They remind you that your journey isn't just about moving forward, but about expanding your capacity to embrace the unknown and approach life with a spirit of curiosity. Additionally, stay connected to people who uplift and challenge you. Surrounding yourself with individuals who inspire you to grow, share new perspectives, and hold you accountable helps keep your vision vivid and your motivation high. Whether it's mentors, friends, or even online communities, these connections are a source of energy that can propel you forward, even when your own resolve weakens. Reflection and renewal are also about the art of letting go, whether that means releasing outdated beliefs, grudges, or even specific plans that no longer serve you. Holding on to things that weigh you down doesn't just impede your progress, it clouds your perspective. When you embrace the practice of letting go, you make space for new ideas, deeper understandings, and a renewed sense of purpose. It's in the quiet moments of letting go that you find the freedom to move forward, unburdened and ready to adapt. As you renew, cultivate the habit of affirming your progress. Remind yourself of the moments when you showed up, the times when you faced challenges and pushed through them, and the growth that emerged from these experiences. These affirmations shouldn't be empty words. They should reflect the real, tangible steps you've taken and the inner transformation that has accompanied them. A life enriched by reflection and renewal is not a stagnant life, but one that is agile, responsive, and alive with purpose. This cycle ensures that you're not merely moving forward for the sake of progress, but progressing with intention, wisdom, and a deeply rooted sense of gratitude. Each pause is an invitation to reset, to build upon what you've learned, and to move ahead with the knowledge that every part of your journey has a role in shaping the person you are becoming. Conclusion. As the final page turns, a new chapter begins, not one bound by paper or ink, but one that unfolds within you, in the spaces between each heartbeat and breath. The path you've taken to reach this point has shaped you in ways words alone cannot capture. Each decision, each setback, and every small victory has contributed to the person you are now, resilient, intentional, and ready to face what comes next. Growth isn't an event, it's an ongoing process, a living force that pulses through your daily choices and interactions. It's the quiet commitment to keep moving forward even when the light seems dim or when doubt tries to creep in, whispering that the journey is too hard. It's the understanding that true success isn't measured by a distant summit, but by the courage to keep climbing, step after step, despite the uncertainties that trail behind you like shadows. You've learned that the most powerful moments are often the ones unseen, hidden in the ordinary, in the practice of getting back up after you've fallen, in the act of choosing again and again to stay true to your vision. The real art of living is recognizing that these moments are what build your legacy. They are the subtle, uncelebrated victories that mold you into someone who doesn't just dream, but does. Someone who understands that greatness isn't found in grand gestures, but in the resilience of your quiet persistence. And so, as this journey comes to an end, remember that every day is an invitation to start anew, to deepen your commitment, and to nurture the fire that has carried you this far. Let it burn brighter than ever, fueled by the lessons you've learned, the growth you've embraced, and the vision that has guided you. Stand firm in the knowledge that you are capable of more than you once imagined, and that the greatest moments of your life are not behind you but ahead, waiting to be created, one choice at a time. As you close this chapter, let it be a reminder that your story is far from finished. It's in the choices you make, the mindset you cultivate, and the vision you hold that you continue to shape the life that's uniquely yours. So take that next step with unwavering confidence, for the journey is yours to claim, and the best is yet to come. If you find value in our content and want to support what we do, consider joining our channel memberships. Your support helps us create even more engaging and impactful videos. Memberships come with exclusive perks, early access, and members-only content. Become a part of our community and help us continue sharing insights and inspiration.